So this means that there's something might be going behind the scenes in order to sabotage, potentially attempt to sabotage this agreement from the Israeli side. And I think that this will be a real test for the Americans. If they wish to resume the responsible stance, the readjusted responsible stance from the crisis in Gaza, and to resume the calm and achieve peace in Gaza and in the occupied Palestinian territories, I think that they will not yield to any Israeli shenanigans. However, if this is not the case, and I don't think that's likely at this point, then of course we might see unfortunate events happening. However, I am positive, I am optimistic, and I think that we are moving in the right direction, Rehan, despite Israel's attempts to weasel out of their commitments to the agreement.
Well, as you said there, I mean, obviously the Israelis are dragging their feet as much as possible, and they may have, some sort of tactic behind their backs. But, I mean, as you said, the U.S., if it has the will to do so, it will end what's happening. Now, how do you see the former U.S. President, the U.S. President Donald Trump's announcement of his visit to Egypt to sign the deal? Do you think this is something that's going to happen, knowing that Trump is a man that basically doesn't take no for an answer?
I think it was very smart and intuitive on part of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi when he invited President Trump over to come and sign up himself on this agreement. This will not only commit if President Trump comes in post, probably he will come, according to all sources, probably on Sunday in a couple of days. If he does come to Egypt to sign up and celebrate this agreement, this does not only mean that this is just a commitment by the United States to the agreement, which is already there. This will be a personal commitment by President Trump to the agreement. And of course, I think this came or stems from a very thorough knowledge on the Egyptian side of the mentality and the way of thinking of President Trump. They know how the man is increasingly protective of his image and his ego, as you very well know, Rehan. So if he comes and he is the guarantor, the personal guarantor of this peace, it rather diminishes the chances of its failure or any backslide.
But we've seen the U.S. be a guarantor in other ceasefires, like the one in Lebanon, but that hasn't held very well, has it?
Well, this was, first of all, the ceasefire in Lebanon was achieved by Biden, so Trump doesn't care. And also there's another dimension into that. President Trump was not that invested in creating this condition in Lebanon as he is now in Gaza. He invested himself personally. He had his own ambitions and his own vision with regards to that. Of course, unfortunately and sadly for him, today he did not win the Nobel Peace Prize. So I hope this does not affect his temperament or his judgment with regards to what's going on in Gaza. I highly doubt that it will. But I think that the United States now, even to be on an even more serious note, the U.S. is interested in de-escalating tensions in the Middle East. They have other fish to fry.